You hear the cheers from the crowd. The big German contingent behind Morten. We heard lots of momos earlier. Either way, you know this crowd will be excited at the end.
Rich, did you hear that roar turn into silence?
Oh, yeah.
They know the stakes right now. You could hear a pin drop in this room, this packed auditorium. Morten starts the bout.
Oh, Morten does not like what he sees. Maybe playing lava here and sees that Inferno Dragon. Not good, and maybe looking more like Golem now.
And could it be? Could it possibly be Bowler Loon Freeze from Mohammed Light? The deck that did him dirty. We'll find out as that Golden Knight connects.
Golden Knight Dash does get on tower. E-Wiz to clean things up. And I, for one, am shocked. I actually spoke with Morten at the beginning of this week and said, I started to ask a question. He says, it's about the Golem, right? And he knew I was going to ask the question about running Golem so much against Mo. He's 0-3 with it. This would be a big turnaround if he can win game one here.
Maybe he's going for surprise factor, and based off of the successes that we've seen of Golem so far this weekend, it doesn't feel as odd of a draw here in game one. Remember, Morten has 4 lives to give.
Baby Dragon will get one splash on the tower, cleaned up there by the flying machine. Minute and a half gone, and Morten does have the lead over Mo right now, 28-92 to 27-42.
And the bowler that's been taking lessons from the Magic Archer and passing them along to the Executioner is cycled in the back as the Inferno sizzles just a bit on that left-hand side.
Even on both left and right, and now Graveyard pushing on the left-hand side for Mo. Golden Knight tanking, Bar Barrel cleans up, Baby Dragon in, maybe a half step early.
Is in trouble, Rich. He did not have a great response there, and that Golden Knight connects big time with the Skellies. 8-62, and a well-played comes out.
I feel like he was a little worried there about that freeze, trying to figure out the timing, and then, of course, slightly different result there. Sets up Golem in the opposite lane, Inferno Dragon to meet it.
And you heard Juicy talk about you need to go in the same lane if you're playing a Graveyard. And as those Baby Dragon belches come in, Morten decides to change the conversation, and he drops a Golem to work down this right-hand lane.
And there comes the freeze. Lightning does not get on the Inferno Dragon. Instead, does some damage down below. Golden Knight gets its dash in. Flying Machine still on the board.
22-13, 382, Mohammed Light in a very substantial lead. And an Inferno in front. Morten calls good game. He knows he's got nothing in the tank. Mohammed Light saw him looking and caught him.
Bar Barrel in, trying to fight it off. Nothing there. Freeze gets it done. GG, well played. Game number one goes to Mohammed Light.
A big-time win there for Mo. Didn't even break a sweat. You see, he gets his notes out. Mohammed Light on her feet. And for one of the first times this entire weekend, we see Morten maybe a little shaken.
Yeah, I mean, look, he just gave up the big advantage. Now just one game suddenly resets the entire board and puts it into a single best of 3.
And that just makes it so, so difficult. If you go 2-0 in that first set, it almost feels like you don't numbers. You see Mohammed breathe, but now having to
Tornado out on both sides. Lightning gone for Morten, so do we see Archer Queen out of Mohammed Light?
And I like that Morten's going faster and looser, and it does look like a rich AQ Royal Hog cycle. Maybe Morten could possibly still be playing Drill, and there it is. Drill comes down.
And it is the Archer Queen for Mohammed Light, so solid pick there with the Lightning no longer available for Morten.
And a great log.
Very, very pretty. That does not get the payoff from it, but did force out extra elixir. Now we are even in the hole on both sides and fairly even on damage as the first minute passes.
Stop and stare here, a reset as they tick to 10. Fire Spirit in one direction, Morten setting up for a bigger push on the other side, but is going to have to defend. And he has the bomb tower again. He has had the bomb tower for Royal Hogs a couple times this weekend, and he's got to be happy about that.
What I don't expect here is to see Mohammed Light have the same timing issues we saw with Samwell in the winner's bracket final, where Morten was able to get those drills on tower, get those goblins on tower. You just got to expect that Mo's going to be dialed in here.
As I said about Mo's micro, with the skellies, with the fire spirit, with the delivery, with the log.
Oh my word. The timing on that play, I know it seems so small, but to actually get that fire spirit at the exact right time to take 0 damage and create the counter pressure, that is like a microsecond window.
I think the bigger story there, Rich, is it shows that he has the confidence to pull it off, but no fire spirit in hand for the delivery, and all that beautiful play goes out the window.
We have seen some stunning plays this weekend. The great King Tower activation against Mortar, that little technique that we just saw right there, and man, I bet we're in for a few more right now.
Fire Spirit does not get the lead that it wants. Morten now can double down on the pressure. Delivery has to go to the back, which means Skelly's log, and the Skellies go up high. Log is too early. Cannon will come in.
Wow, able to hold on just by a hair is Mohammed Light, 25-35 to 20-97, as we are just 35 seconds away from sudden death.
And Morten turning up the pressure. Log for the spears, delivery for the mighty, and an AQ to catch, but still damage in.
Just keeps on getting it done right here. Mo having a lot of difficulty. He doesn't have any phenomenal on-the-ground response to that drill. Nothing like a Dark Prince or a Valkyrie, so he's forced to rely on just those specific counters over and over and over again, and the timing just gets stretched thin.
Mo goes for a 1-3 split with those piggies as that bat connects, pulls them all to one side so he can deal with the Archer Queen on her own. Log catches the Skellies, and now Mo needs to spend an arm and a leg.
10-10 on the left-hand side. The lead keeps on opening up for Morten. This plays the Spear Goblins on the left to control against that recruit.
I don't know the last time a drill wasn't on the board here for Morten, as Mo struggles to deal with the timing this time. Perfect, 3 elixir for 4. Morten up by 3. And a lot in damage.
And he's just trying to get Morten to spend in this right-hand side. Mo does not want to play on the left at all. Bomb tower in with the EQ trying to take it off the board. Not going to get much here, though.
Morten decides not to pull the ability, knowing that that Archer Queen is coming down the lane. Mighty Miner are going to do a good job dealing with it. Maybe he pops it late here to get some damage in. No, he does not.
Almost got that last stab. Fireball this time, plus bats, and that's some great variation on the defense from Morten, as we are just 5 seconds from triple elixir.
And while that happens, the spears connect on the left side, adding more damage in. Skellies missed the log misses the Skellies, but the Goblin gets on the tower again. Morten evens things up. He is 1 game away from being world champion.
This game 3 is going to be intense. We've now seen 2 games in a row where one player was in complete control. Do we get an even fight here in game number 3, or does someone grab fate by the neck?
We gotta find out in just a couple of minutes, but Morten going fast and loose. It's his way to go. He loves wall breakers, he loves drill, he loves bait, he loves the outplay ability, and when you talk there for Morten.
And I mean,
for the first time in year after year after year, 4 years for Morten, he finds himself 1 game away from a world championship.
And you hear the Morten cheers from the crowd, and it is Miner. Ice Spirit, and goes Miner right to the back, right out the gate here, knowing again, NATO out of cycle, get that early damage.
You see Morten immediately nodding, maybe Mo going to the Skelly King Mortar deck. Still a lot of possibilities out there, but it could be looking like that. And Morten happy with the matchup thus far.
And nice clean defense there. Snowball and Queen take care of business. Mo cycles the Miner in the bottom right corner.
Mortar comes out for Mohammed Light. One of his strongest win conditions, and a Mortar to respond. Rich, double Mortar in maybe our grand finals. I could not have asked for anything else.
Yeah, I know. This is a game played specifically for Andrew Guy. And there you go, the Ice Spirit to kite that Mortar opposite direction. Nice pickup by the Skeleton King that will redirect the Mortar of Mo onto Morten's left-hand tower.
And that's another shot that will come down, but Morten needing to deal with this right-hand lane. Snowball to keep this giant skeleton alive, and Mohammed Light in the lead by 300.
And, you know, Mo looks a little bit stressed. He's wearing a little bit of pressure on that face right now. And from Morten's reaction early on, he might be happy here.
90 seconds remain in regulation. Mohammed Light leaking elixir, which is not something you want to do with this deck. Morten catches.
Wow.
Morten catches. That is a beautiful prediction. Mo gives a little tilt to the head. All right, man, I see you.
Yeah, that Ice Spirit, then the Archer Queen, just keeping that mortar nice and clean. I don't think he'll get it on tower unless the Archer Queen can clear a little bit earlier. Might have room. No, that's going to get off the board.
Still separated by 300, but Morten has the advantage by just about 1.5 or so.
Miner to the front this time. And Mo's just eating a little bit of damage here. Gets it off with the snowball, but instead tries to create his own counter push.
Guards to the back. Skelly King up high. Snowball to catch, and now Mo trying to get all of his responses out.
This is a significant push here. The poison to try to prevent the Skelly King ability.
He needs to get on the Skelly King.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit late. He's a little late.
That's a ton of damage, Andrew. Down to 11-11. And now you see Mohammed Light with the smirk.
Morten setting up that giant skeleton in the back. Does catch with the guards as well. Mohammed Light now firmly in control.
This is what Morten was talking about. Mo does things that are unorthodox that you don't expect. And then instead of playing in that right-hand lane, Mo just goes with kind of a crazy sell on the left-hand side. Opportunistic, takes it by the hand, and now he's in the lead.
Morten misses the timing there on the Ice Spirit. Mortar does not get really any presence on the board, and Mo goes right back to the front of the tower again. Down below 1,000 HP to 2472.
This is a really big gap to make up in a minor mortar poison fight here, Andrew. This is a huge hill to climb with 2 minutes left.
He needs to get that mortar on tower, but there's almost an impossibility. Mohammed Light, we've seen his sequencing with his units, the drop time, the response, and you see there Skarmy once again putting in work on that right-hand lane.
The high-risk, high-reward play was so huge, and now with 90 seconds left, continuing to add to that lead is Mohammed Light.
I think we're going to a super grand. You can see Morten knowing that this game is slowly slipping away from him. That predictive poison on top of the guards, knowing that's the best response there for Morten. Gets a lot of damage on tower, and now he's back again to another miner on tower.
Morten has to go for something big here. He has to take a crazy sellout play and try to do something unexpected to change this fate.
The problem is, Rich, this is not a deck to make a crazy sellout play with. It's about the miner chip. It's about the mortars getting on a couple times and getting that poison value when you can. It's not one that you can create these big-time hits with.
And now Skelly King to the right-hand side. The mortar down on the left-hand lane, and this is just about it.
We're going to a super grand finals. Poison is in. Miners on tower. Momo takes set number 1. Could you ask for anything else?
Oh my word. And it's just the brilliance of Mohammed Light who's put himself back in this situation. Morten looked good at the start of this game, and now we have to reset and go through all this over one more time.
It was that moment on the left-hand side when Momo baited out the